Concord, North Carolina, Alex Bowman, Daniel Suarez and AJ Allmendinger advanced to the Monster Energy All-Star Race through stage wins in the 50-lap Monster Energy Open at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Chase Elliott advanced via the fan vote for the third consecutive year. Bowman won Stage 1 after leading the last 9 laps of the stage. He started third and passed Aric Almirola on lap 11. He will compete in the All-Star race for the first time. Suarez claimed Stage 2 after leading 18 laps and swapping the lead twice with Elliott, who led 2 laps. This is his second All-Star race. Allmendinger won the final 10-lap stage in a mad last-lap scramble that saw him lead the final 2 laps, but keep the lead for good after a 3-wide pass of Elliott and Erik Jones out of turn 2 on the final lap. This is his 5th All-Star race. Darrell Wallace Jr. led 7 of the stage's 10 laps and finished 11th. There were no cautions in the event. The All-Star race is set to begin at 8:16 p.m. ET. Click here for the results. Concord, NC. NASCAR confirmed that it is using the Kingdovic test as part of its process to diagnose a concussion in a driver after an incident. The test, developed in association with the Mayo Clinic, measures a person's eye movement. Those taking the test are given a card and asked to read the numbers from left to right as quickly as they can without making any errors. The times required to complete each card are recorded and mistakes are noted in reciting the numbers to help determine if the person has a concussion. The field of concussions is constantly evolving, and we work with experts across the country in maintaining a proactive approach to prevention and assessment, a NASCAR statement read. At those experts' recommendation, we are implementing the Kingdovic test as part of a basic neurological exam for drivers in the IFCC, said Kyle Busch. A lot of times NASCAR has to help us from ourselves, so I think that better technology obviously is something that we all ask for in order to make sure that we either have A, more opinions, or B, better opinions, and that we're not held out of a race car for some other unforeseen circumstance. NASCAR confirmed the test a few days after IndyCar announced that it was using the clinical eye-tracking computer test known as IPA in the Racing Series Concussion Evaluation Protocol. The iPortal portable assessment system is known as the Goggles test. It runs a high-quality diagnostic test to evaluate patients with symptoms of dizziness and/or balance disorders, especially those associated with medical conditions such as concussions, migraines, or benign paroxysmal positional vertigo. IndyCar's medical staff has used a number of tools to help improve its evaluation of concussions, said Dr. Terry Trammell, safety consultant to IndyCar and its medical staff, in a statement. It is a challenge to balance both the safety of the drivers and the need for them to be on the track to compete. IPA has proven to be an important part of the decision-making process as to if and when a driver with the possibility of having had a concussion may return to competition. Follow at Dustin Long and on Facebook after tersely assessing the performance of his team and the quality of the racing Friday night. Kyle Busch bluntly stayed on the offensive during a Saturday afternoon Twitter rant. The owner of Kyle Busch Motorsports finished second to Johnny Sauter in the Camping World Truck Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway after rallying from 2 penalties to his pit crew for going over the wall too soon. "Pure talent, that's about it," Busch replied when asked about his comeback. "My pit crew did absolutely nothing to help me out tonight. The truck drove like shit, and these splitters are absolutely horrendous. You can't pass in traffic. You can't race alongside anybody. You can't get within 5 truck lengths of no one. But somehow, someway, I was able to get back to the front. Had a blast. During an hour-long session on Twitter after Cup practice for Saturday night's All-Star race, Busch took on all comers, retweeting both supporters and haters. He also offered an interesting opinion of what NASCAR without his team in the Truck Series would mean for the wave of young drivers that reached the Cup Series this season. There would be a series. I just think the learning curve to the next level would be steeper and steeper, and some drivers wouldn't make it all the way. Jones, Bubba, William, Suarez, Bell, https://t.co/1n6zush45odd, Kyle Busch, at Kyle Busch, May 19, 2018. Here's a sampling of the rest. Collision https://t.co/2kwn3p6 his, Kyle Busch, at Kyle Busch, May 19, 2018. He spun the tires first. If he had traction he wouldn't have backed up into me. I then tired to help him get back going and he was too crooked and he almost wrecked. Did a great job to save it. We both made compounding mistakes. We'll discuss and learn and move on. https://t.co/qx5 kicked, Kyle Busch, at Kyle Busch, May 19, 2018. Dude. Get over it. Sorry. Okay. You have a complex of repeating yourself. I'm sure I was rushed or in the garage going from point A to point B. I know for a fact it wasn't at a sit-down autograph session. Moving on, https://t.co/river54q2, Kyle Busch, at Kyle Busch, May 19, 2018. Bring it on. KBM is comprised of strong people and many want to work there. The ones we do have say it's a great place. But you know it also, come run it then and show me better. https://t.co/kls1 free BDUF8, Kyle Busch, at Kyle Busch, May 19, 2018. I beg to differ. I believe it's because of social media and bashers like you. Racing isn't always about the show. It's the experience. Friends and family. Camping, parties, hanging out, building memories, etc. Try it sometime. https://t.co/pitchoatspam, Kyle Busch, at Kyle Busch, May 19, 2018. I'd be happy to do it. If those are the rules for everyone in the field, let's rock it. When you pay people to do a job, they either do it well or get fired. Teach that lesson to your kid so he stays employed his whole life. https://t.co/3isniq7bd, Kyle Busch, at Kyle Busch, May 19, 2018. Nice try. I'm not trying to be him. Richard will forever be the king and arguably the greatest we ever had to race stock cars. https://t.co/zinmaya2dklz, Kyle Busch, at Kyle Busch, May 19, 2018. Concord, NC. Even after a 60-minute practice Saturday morning, drivers were still trying to figure out what the racing would be like with the rules package for this evening's Monster Energy All-Star race. NASCAR granted teams an extra session Saturday after much of Friday's practices at Charlotte Motor Speedway were canceled by rain. Kyle Larson posted the fastest lap in Saturday's session at 173.305 miles per hour. He and others noted that handling could play a factor in the race for $1 million. I felt like early practice I could pass cars pretty easy, Larson said. But when the track got a little tighter, it was harder to pass. Clint Bowyer, who was next on the speed chart at 173.255 miles per hour, was struck by how the cars reacted in traffic. To be dead honest with you, the thing that surprised me was they didn't pull up near as much as I thought they would, he said. I don't know, that's what I was hoping they would do. I think that's what everybody was hoping they would do. I was a little bit frustrated with that. I still think you're going to have that gaggle of cars, you know what I mean. Some excitement within there. Aric Almirola also expressed surprise at what the cars didn't do during practice. I think the biggest thing that surprised me was that the runs weren't bigger, said Almirola, who starts on the pole for the Monster Open preliminary race. I thought that when we got in a pack or just even 2 cars, I thought the idea behind the package was for the trailing car to be able to get a big draft and get up to the lead car and be able to slingshot. I was surprised by that. It's a little bit more sophisticated than that, and the runs, we were a little bit slower than I anticipated. I don't know if it's because of the racetrack or because of the radius of the corners are tighter, the straightaways are shorter, or if it's actually the package. I was anticipating bigger runs and more ability to do something with a run, so what does that forecast for the racing Saturday night? From what I have seen in practice, if you want to win, you have to be in the top 3 spots, Almirola said. I think track position will play a part like we have seen in speedway racing the last few years. Joey Logano, who won this event in 2016, is certain about one thing with tonight's race. "We're going to crash some stuff tonight," Logano said. "I think that is pretty apparent. In practice we were all pretty good at giving each other some room and making sure our cars are, at least we have a car for later on. I think towards the end of this race is when business picks up. I mean, hey, it is the All-Star race. It is the same thing when we come here no matter what package you use. You have nothing to lose and $1 million to gain. I think every driver knows that. That whole caring about things kind of goes out the window. You think about winning the race and winning the money. That is what this is about." Daniel McFadden contributed to this report. Follow at Dustin Long, and on Facebook. Denny Hamlin's penchant for pushing the accelerator too much in the pits recently earned a sit-down with the boss. On the NASCAR on NBC podcast, Hamlin said team owner Joe Gibbs recently admonished him for accumulating 4 speeding penalties through the first 10 races of the season. "I think he's offended a little bit when they kind of make jokes on TV about it," Hamlin said with a laugh about the meeting with Gibbs. He's like, "This is not a joking matter. This is costing you finishes. It's amazing we've had the finishes we've had with the penalties we've had. I think if we can just tighten things up a little bit. Honestly, we have not had many mistake-free races this year. I think once I have a race where there's nothing going on that doesn't set me to the back of the pack middle of the race, results are going to show a lot better." Hamlin was caught for speeding at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Texas Motor Speedway, and twice at Talladega Superspeedway. Each penalty occurred on entry to the pits. The number 11 Toyota driver said that's been a consistency in his long history of getting caught for speeding. "Most of our penalties has been entering the pits," Hamlin said. "There's so much data out there, I'm learning from it and trying to get better at it. One method for improvement is trying to understand how much reward and risk there is within the system used by drivers to stay under the limit. Cars don't have speedometers, so a system of lights helps indicate when they are near the limit. Being more informed of that extra light, what does that amount to in feet?" Hamlin said. "Tell me, is it a car length? 2 feet. That will help manage my risk as well." To listen to the podcast, click here for Apple Podcasts, here for Spotify, here for Stitcher, here for Google Play, or play the Art 19 embed below.